Assalamu alaikum students of grade 8, lecture number 3. Today we will study chapter 1, physical quantities and measurements. Our topic is physical and non-physical quantities, but in today's lecture we will mainly focus on physical quantities and understand how they are measured. Now let's move to the next slide. This slide shows the objective of today's lesson. Our objective is to understand physical and non physical quantities and identify the difference between them with examples. This is chapter number 1 and this is our topic. Now we will discuss this topic with the help of slides. Now let's move to the next slide and start the topic. Students, in our daily life, we describe many natural phenomena and human behaviors. For example, we use words like love, affection, fear, wisdom, beauty, length, volume, density, time, temperature. Now think about this question. Can all these things be measured? The answer is no. Some of these quantities can be measured using instrument, but some quantities cannot be measured. Because of this reason, quantities are divided into two types. The first type is physical quantity and the another is non-physical quantity. Now we will study the first type. Let's move to the next slide. Physical quantity. Now look at the slide carefully. According to the book definition, physical quantities are quantities that can be measured directly or indirectly using tools and instruments. Let's understand this definition. A physical quantity is something that we can measure using measuring instrument. For example, the length of an object can be measured by a ruler. The time duration of an event can be measured by a clock. The temperature of a body can be measured by a thermometer. Now, some physical quantities are like length, volume, density, time, temperature. Now, let's see some examples of measurement. Examples of measurement. Students, here we can see how physical quantities are measured. Length is measured by ruler, time duration is measured by a clock, temperature of a body is measured by a thermometer. So, whenever we can measure something using an instrument, measure something using an instrument, that quantity is called physical quantity. Remember this point. Measure something using an instrument, that quantity is called physical quantity. Clear? Now let's learn an important property of physical quantity. Students, every physical quantity has two main parts. The first part is the numerical value, which is number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 15, 19, 18, 62, 73, anything, any number. The second part is the unit, which tell us the measuring unit. For example, length is equals to 5 meter. Right? Here 5 is the numerical value and meter is the unit. Another example, time. Time is equals to 10 second. Here 10 is a numerical value and second is the unit. So every physical quantities always have a number and a unit. Remember this point, students. Physical quantities have number and a unit. Physical quantities has a number and unit. Now student, this slide shows an important concept. The foundation of physics is based on physical quantities. This means that all the laws and principles of physics are written using physical quantities. For example, when we study motion, we measure distance and time. When we study heat, we measure temperature. So physical quantities are very important in physics. Okay students, today we studied physical quantities and their examples. Then we learned about examples of measurement. After that we discussed the part of measurement, numerical value and unit. Finally we studied the foundation of physics. Students, for your homework, you have to do two things. First, complete table 1.1 on your book, page number 7. You only need to complete the first row related to physical quantities. And second, you must memorize the definition of physical quantities from the book along with examples. Don't worry, the slide shows which definition is taken from the book. Students, please look at the slides and mark important points, definitions in your book. In the next lecture, lecture number 4, we will complete this topic. So please stay tuned for lecture number 4. And students, you have to do one thing. After completing table 1.1, first row of physical quantity, please write in the comments homework completed. This will help me know which students have completed their homeworks. Thanks for your attention. Allah Hafiz.